you believe that we started recording right in the middle of 2020 with all of the COVID and lockdowns going on around us, unable to meet up? So like many a young gentleman, we turned to the internet for our entertainment. Tried to find a place where we could meet up and talk about the good, the bad, and that time that Stu saw a pelican on the canal. In order to facilitate our dreams of answering all of the big questions in film, and after a few attempts at recording via other methods to various levels of success, we found Gymkata, a super easy web-based one-stop shop for recording. Log in and you're ready to record in a matter of seconds. It doesn't take a tech genius to get high quality audio or video. And on top of that, the one time we have had an issue, the fact that the multi-layered backups are stored locally means it's easily fixed all in browser. There are plenty of tools you need when you start podcasting, so let Gymkata take that headache away, as it offers a place to record, edit and distribute all from one website. Any lazy bones Jones can pick up and play and have studio quality audio or 4K video put out for the world to see when using Gymkata. Go to gymkata.com/pricing and use our code CAGEFIGHTING and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Gymkata paid plan. We want you to have the same easy experiences we do for all our podcasting and content needs. It's time to share your story. And now, hit the music. Hello and welcome to Cage Fighting. It's your main man, Andy Gillard here. Hope you're all keeping well in the world right now.
And everyone wrapped up all warm. Spoilers, there's going to be a film that I hated forever on this list of the worst 10 that's not on my list at all. So that's something to stay tuned to.
Oh, that's interesting. I wonder what that's going to be. Because normally we shared, or you at least give me your list so I can plan it all out. But we haven't done that this time. And we didn't do it last week either. And that's the thing with just going in chronological order. So like now I'm thinking, I wonder if it's on my list and we'll still get to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, I've got it as I mean, this was harder than last week.
Yeah, it really was.
I mean, cutting it down to films of... I mean, there's a lot of shit on there, as we've talked. In 118 films, there's going to be a terrible amount. But we've mentioned over the last few weeks of these retrospective ones that there are films that have got their kind of redeeming factors, even if they are for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
And there's some that have been asterisked for that reason. That, yeah, they are shit, but at least they're watchable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some are not, just not at all.
I mean, I don't know about you, but like there's a couple that we mentioned last week that would have been on my list of the worst films, but when we've sat down and spoke about it and had a laugh about it, that takes them off the list because I'll watch them again just to remember some of the laughs that we had. I have done like an honourable mention of not really bad, but maybe overhyped, but we'll get to that further down the line. My first film is from 1984, Stu. What year's yours?
Oh, we're doing it this way round, are we? And then reviewing the other masterpiece / nonsense later.
Oh yeah, we'll do Gymkata second. We'll keep Absurd Autumn till the end of the pod. Let's get into the weeds with the bottom 10 Cage films. As I said, it's not the worst, probably, but they're the ones that I had the least enjoyment with.
Yeah,
and again, like there's some that I've missed off here that I could probably make an argument probably should be on here.
I think least enjoyable top 10 is probably more true to life, really. Okay, my first one. Let's get IMDb up at the same time because yet again I didn't write the years down, did I? 1984, my first one.
Oh, I wonder if it's the same one. Because there's two in 1984. One of them is The Cotton Club. The other one is Birdie. Birdie's the one I've gone with.
I've gone with The Cotton Club.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's surprising. Let's talk about The Cotton Club first. That was on my list initially, but I really liked Cage and I liked his subplot. The rest of the film was boring as shit, though.
Yeah, and Richard Gere was all right in that. I thought when I realised it was Richard Gere.
Yeah.
But the fact that this was the one out of all of the ones that we had missed out on, and that people had talked about, and it was, oh well, it's one of these lovey-dovey films, and you can kind of see why, because it's Hollywood about Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
It was like when you just said it was boring. It was boring. It was dull. It was drab, and the scenes that weren't drab were the cage bits.
Mm-hmm.
But I just remember just sitting through it, just being utterly. It wasn't just bored. It was just like a daisical, I guess, because I was just like, hurry up and end.
Yeah, I remember at the time, because didn't we do a double header recording that week, and we did this and
The Boy in
Racing
Blue.
with the Moon, was it?
Oh, it was The Boy in Blue, wasn't it?
Is it The Boy? I thought it was Racing with the Moon, and I remember thinking I expected this one.
Yes.
I expected this one to be the good one and the other one to be the shit one. It ended up being completely the other way around.
Yeah.
The only reason it didn't make it on my list is I enjoyed the cage of it, but the rest of the film, it was just much of a muchness. I think at that point it was just, yeah, you're right. It wasn't a good film. It was kind of boring. I didn't hate it though. I just didn't anything it, which is potentially worse, really.
That's why, because there's films that I absolutely hate with a passion, but I've actually got a passion for them, which is kind of like an oxymoron, I guess. But it's like and we talked about with a couple of weeks ago, like trying to remember some of these and looking.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have got my ratings on IMDb for these now, and looking back, I thought, well, why have I given the Cotton Club 4? I obviously must have hated that quite a lot.
Mm.
And it's only on a 6.6 anyway. It's not a well-liked film. 68 Rotten Tomatoes, I think.
Something like that. Like, it is fairly well regarded, considering.
Yeah, it's one of them. It's for the film world, not for us.
Yeah, I think that's right.
But yeah, Birdie. I mean, I liked Birdie, so go on, attack away.
It was so boring. Like I know that it was supposed to be this post-war PTSD. It was supposed to have like layers to it that was make it really interesting. But I just found Matthew Modine as the lead in that film so incredibly bland and not at all the kind of character that you wanted. Like, I didn't want to get behind him for him to get better, and I also didn't want to hate him. Like, he was such an empty vessel throughout the film. I found it really boring. I found it such hard work. And if I remember rightly, we watched it, I'm sure it was like either just before or just after our third birthday on the podcast. I think it was just after, and it was a case of like, right, we're pushing on and watching the next lot, and it's like, oh god, this has really taken the wind out of my sails. I had such a shit experience watching it. Really did not enjoy it at all, that movie. Yeah, did nothing for me.
Yeah, I was the opposite. I mean, I was probably laughing at it when I probably shouldn't have been laughing at it, because it's quite a serious subject. But no, it was one of the few that we actually completely disagree on, and it's never changed.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm guessing there's going to be a lot on here that's not going to be the case like that. But yeah, it was fine for me. But I know you've been a long time hater of that film.
I really didn't like it. Jumping ahead to 89 for me, Stu.
Ooh, 89. Would that be... I mean, it's the only one, so... Time to Kill.
It would be, yeah. That's the one. Do you get anything before then, or is that
no, I haven't even got Time to Kill, even though I have given it a 4, just because it's so stupid.
It was stupid, but... like the bits that stick out in my mind stick out for entirely the wrong reasons. The rape, the showing of the alligator picture, the person shitting herself when she sees this really crudely drawn alligator picture. Like, that's the highlight of the film. That's the only good thing in this really rambling, unfocused movie. That again, it just felt like going through the motions at this point in Cage's. In where we were in Cage's filmography, it was like, right, we just need to get this done because I can't fucking stand much more of this shit. This I felt like one of his low points. And in the 80s, bar Birdie, which I understand that Birdie is kind of well liked, and it's just me that doesn't like it. Time to Kill, I think, is the worst film of the 80s in Nick Cage's world, taking out Best of Times and the non-film stuff that he did back then. I think that was really poor.
Yeah, but it feels like one of the 2010s films. And I mean, even the name is just so generic that I had to put Ethiopian toothache next to it just to remind myself what it was even about.
That's right. That 100%. Because Time to Kill, to me, I'm thinking of that Kiefer Sutherland film with the black person, a black father kills because his daughter gets raped. I don't even know if that's called A Time to Kill, but in my mind it is. And that's what I think of when I hear this. And no, that's not that. That's that really strange Italian war film with a really good soundtrack by Ennio Morricone. Like, it doesn't deserve that fucking soundtrack. It's so good. But yeah, such a weird film that was.
Isn't Time to Kill a Seagal film as well?
It very well may be, to be honest. A Time to Kill. Oh yeah, so you've got the Sandra Bullock, Matthew McConaughey, Samuel L. Jackson, Kevin Spacey. It's got both of the Sutherlands in, Ashley Judd, Oliver Platt. That's the courtroom drama, and I love a good courtroom drama. That's A Time to Kill, though, rather than just Time to Kill.
Yeah. And
I'm sure there is another one. I'm sure there's like 3 or 4 films with that title. Next one up for me, I've got 94. When's your next one?
It's before then.
Okay.
1 second. What is it?
Oh, I think I might know what yours is.
I mean, it's got 2 names.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Wings of the Apache.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out which of his war films I hated most because I didn't really like any of them. Time to Kill edged Firebirds for me, but I get it.
Fucking Firebirds. The thing is, Firebirds is a better name than Wings of the Apache.
100%. 100%.
It's Top Gun, but shit, and with helicopters.
Yeah, that's 100% exactly what it is. But except for having someone cool like Tom Cruise, you've got Nick Cage playing a sex pest.
Yeah.
Why? That was weird.
Yeah, it's... There's nothing... I mean, other than that sentence, there's nothing to say about it. It's not fun. No. It's not even... it's in that 80s kind of 70s, 80s thing. Where you got 80s, 90s, what is it? It's not even that. It's just not good in any way, shape or form. It's boring. The effects are terrible. Again, armed drug cartels operating in South America. You wouldn't really know that, would you?
No. You know what it feels like? It feels like Top Gun was made, and like, you know how you've got studios like the kind of studios who will just make Snakes on a Train in response to Snakes on a Plane. It feels like someone saw Top Gun and thought, oh, let's do that and just try and cash in on the hype around it. The problem is it comes out 4 years later, by which point the world's pretty much moved on, and you don't have Tom Cruise attached to it to really push it onto that next level. Because at this point, Cage's star it's on its way, but he's not quite there yet, is he, at this point? So you're not really basing it on a great deal, I don't think.
No. And you go from Cage in Raising Arizona to this in the space of 3 years, and it's like a different person.
Yeah.
Not obviously, before you all write in, yes, it's acting, we know. But it's like someone who's inept. And that's not what he's supposed to be doing.
Like, if you just told me that he made that film in 1986 and the only reason they released it in 1990 is because he'd had Raising Arizona, Moonstruck and Wild at Heart, so they were trying to capitalise on him becoming somebody, I would
Yeah.
have 100% believed you, because it feels very out of place for the run of films that we've had. I mean, don't get me wrong, we've got A Vampire's Kiss, Never on Tuesday, Time to Kill in that run. But he's starting to do good shit and less of the, just sort of like mediocre stuff. He's becoming someone, and that film does not encapsulate that one bit.
No. Annoying as well, because you look at the blurb, and we just talked about Maverick and how I was right about it, and then getting all excited again, and I thought, oh yes, and then that happens. Thought, oh, great.
Yeah, it did take the wind out of your sails somewhat, didn't it? I think.
And with the wind beneath my wings as well.
1994 then, Stu, I'm sorry, it's Trapped in Paradise. The problem is, right, so it's a Christmas crime comedy. It's not very Christmassy, it's not very crimey, and there's very little comedy to it. and like the actual comedy, like the main character who's trying to drive the comedy is Dana Carvey, who gives his most grating performance of all time. Like I've seen him in it's not Love Guru. Love Guru was the other one, isn't it? Mike Myers. Oh God, the one where he plays a detective who dresses up as different people, and it's absolutely atrocious, that film is. But he's on that sort of form. Like, he really gives it his worst, that it just makes it unwatchable. The Master of Disguise. Have you ever seen that?
No, I've never heard of this.
He plays Pistachio Disguisey. Like, need I say any more? Like, it's genuinely one of the worst. It's got a 1% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's got a 3.4 on IMDb. It's appalling. Brent Spiner's in it, though, and Jennifer Esposito. It's like he's got a couple of sort of names in there with him, but it's awful. And for me, Trapped in Paradise is just another one of these for Dana Carvey, where I'll just do my silly voice. And I didn't, like, because the film was really those three guys, there was no real, like, connection between them. The chemistry between Cage, Carvey, and Lovitz, it was just non-existent. So it made it such a struggle to watch. I really hate it.
I mean, they didn't like each other anyway. That was the kind of point of it.
But even so, like,
an aficionado in this film.
If they don't get along, like, you want that needle there, but it wasn't even that. It felt like they didn't know each other, let alone didn't like each other.
It's his face as well. That little thing he does with his lip.
Go onto Google, type in the Master of Disguise, and just look at the picture, and he does that exact look. That is what Dana Carvey is. He's like, when he does good stuff, he is good. Like Wayne's World, he's brilliant.
What is he doing again?
Exactly, like he's kind of pulling a turtle face. It's really weird. I mean, I might be being harsh, because that is genuinely one of the worst films ever made. But
I'm going to have to watch this now, though, because it's... Look at how bad it looks.
It's... Like, have you seen The Love Guru with Mike Myers?
Yeah.
It's like, that's bad. This is a lot worse. Which is saying something, because that is atrocious.
It's a bit like... did you ever watch Grimsby?
Yes.
Sacha Baron Cohen.
Mark Strong and Sacha Baron Cohen. Yes, I did, yeah.
I thought that was going to be that kind of thing, and it really wasn't at all.
No, it wasn't, was it? No, it ended up being something completely different to what I was expecting. What the hell? The most popular question on the Master of Disguise on Google: was Master of Disguise filmed on 9/11? He was... oh my God. I'm going to have to quickly read this, Stu. Sorry. On September 11th, 2001, while the world was facing tragedy, Dana Carvey was filming The Master of Disguise. In a surreal moment, he was dressed in the now famous Turtle Club costume when production stopped to acknowledge the attacks. So halfway through filming a scene, they told them that the world has completely changed. Holy shit. That's more interesting than the film issue. I've got a gap to 2007 now.
7?
There's a couple here I would not be shocked to see if they were on your list.
Yeah, 2001 is mine.
Okay, that's surprising because Snake Eyes and 8mm. I remember you really disliking 8mm.
Yeah, I didn't remember it. But I am going on the fact that I did remember watching it at some point and liking it back then. So I didn't always hate it, and I don't think I just misremembered it as something else. But again, it's fine. But when you've got things like A Christmas Carol, nah, you ain't escaping. You ain't escaping, son. You've got your song, great, whatever. It's not a song podcast. Film's terrible. Film's shit. It's boring. It's the worst version of A Christmas Carol, which somehow manages to be true.
It's probably the most adapted story of all time as well. So for it to be literally one of the worst versions of it I've ever seen, that is quite a feat in itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is atrocious. It's like I love a bit of traditional animation, and we don't get a lot of it anymore. And like with that being post Toy Story, there's just no excuse for it to look as shit as it is. Atrocious film, absolutely appalling. What's the year of your next one, Shu?
So if yours is 2007, mine's 2008. So
okay, so 2007. Then this is the one that I fully expected to be on your list as next.
Yeah, it was. It was. I took it off at the last minute, just because my issue with it was entirely the ending.
Same.
The rest of the film, like 2001, 2002, should have been promotion season. 4/5 of that year were amazing, and then it all went tits up, and it was the worst experience ever. That's what next was for me. But there's stuff on here. I mean, as much as I hate it, and I'll never ever watch it again. I always come out the other side of it now. That I despise it for what it is, but he's actually all right in it. It's just that ending's so bad. The ending is so bad.
Yeah, I think it spoiled the fact that it was fairly enjoyable for 90% of it, but because what happens at the end is they tell you that everything you've seen from probably 20% of the way into the film is bullshit. It just ruins it because that doesn't happen then. So any goodwill that you'd built up, you've pissed away, and you've ruined everything that's come before it. And look, I'm one that's very much, if you bring out a sequel that isn't good, it doesn't ruin the first film. But they do that in one film. They manage to just erode what they've done in the moment and everything that's preceded it. It was an insult to our intelligence, and I hated it. It spoiled the whole film because it could have been vaguely interesting if it was given something else, anything else other than that ending. But it was such a fucking insult that, like you said, I'm never watching that film again because I know that I'll just get pissed off.
Hang on, is there something I can take off to replace? Because you're kind of making me want to put it back on again now. I mean, it's a tough ask to put something else on here, though. You know what? Yeah. Oh, it's already gone now. Fuck.
It's fine. It's on the 20 films that between us. It's there.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be other stuff that we are going to need to talk about because there is still some drivel out there that was very infuriating.
Did it make me as angry? I mean, my next one's Bangkok Dangerous, but did it make me as angry? I'm taking it off then. I'm putting Next on. Next is going back on. Fuck it off. Because at least Bangkok Dangerous was kind of funny in parts. Because of the whole. I mean, we're laughing at the the deaf woman, and the jumping across the gondolas thing or whatever they are in Bangkok. It was pretty. It was crap, but it was of that time where a lot of it was. But it didn't. I almost got suckered then. I almost let it past because it's been so long. But you just brought the anger back in me again. Next is back on. Bangkok Dangerous lives to fight another day for me. But you can slate it now, and rightfully so.
It was so boring. Like it in theory, it should have been a little bit exciting. Like you say, it was an assassin in a foreign land who was doing these kind of cool feats of, like I said, jumping across gondolas, and there was these weird side characters who should have brought a little bit of comedy to it. And Cage has never looked so disinterested in a performance in his life. It was very wiggy as well. And you could tell it was a wig. It was a very, very badly done wig. And like that wig had more life than Nicolas Cage did in Bangkok Dangerous. He just didn't give a shit, which made the film almost unwatchable for me. In fact, this might be the most, I think that's the most unwatchable film I've got on my list. It was a struggle to get through.
Yeah. I mean, there's highlights, and that's all I can say about it.
The scene in the pharmacy. Is it in the pharmacy? Where he loses his shit. Like, we get a moment of Crazy Cage, just like a vague nod to his crazy past. And that was it. It just wasn't enough for me. I struggled. I'm sure I stopped it like 4 or 5 times. And it's only fucking 90-minute film. I really had a tough time getting through that film. It was not an enjoyable experience at all.
Fair.
So I've got to jump ahead to 2014. And in fairness, in that early part of the 10s, there's plenty to choose from.
20. Oh God, it is 2014. Yeah. I don't know. Mine's not Left Behind. I'm thinking that you left it off because it's funny.
Left Behind's not a mine. I'll watch Left Behind again. It's shit, but it's watchable shit. Again, for the wrong reasons.
That's why Outcast survives as well for me. Rage Tokarev, or whatever the fuck it was called. They got me with a twist, but Dying of the Light was bad, and that's what mine is. 2014, Dying of the Light.
Yeah, I'm having to look to see which one Rage Tokarev was, because I don't even remember it. I know it was something to do with a gun, but it's just been completely wiped from my memory. That film has. But yeah, Dying of the Light, Kidnap. Oh yeah, and his son was in it.
Yeah.
There's a period of time where his son kept turning up and ruining his films. Sorry, yeah. So, Dying of the Light was a bad film. The fact that he's disowned it, the director's disowned it, and the director's then gone on to make a new cut of it to make it somewhat palatable. And it's not brilliant, but it's watchable. But the original is honking.
Yeah, and the fact that it was such a good idea as well, and it was ruined. And that they can use footage that's there, chopped up, to make it, half hour, 20 minutes shorter than the original. And it's better. It's going to speak for itself.
Yeah, it does say a lot about how badly handled it was by the studios. My 2014 film was Outcast. It was incoherent. Like the whole thing, that the plot made absolutely no sense. It looked really cheap. The accents, he needs to just not do accents anymore. I know we've taken the piss out of everyone that he plays is just from California, but it needs to remain that way because he's not good with the accents. And that was dreadful. Obviously, it's got Hayden Christensen in, who he's not particularly likable. Whenever you watch him in anything, like he's not a good actor in the slightest. So that was why Outcast. Like I kind of hate the fact that we ended our long run of watching Cage films with Outcast. Like I feel like we started off pretty strong with the National Treasure films, and ending with Outcast is just a bit. If I'd have known what I know now, I would probably have saved something a little bit more celebratory to have ended it with, I think.
Yeah, but I think Outcast kind of sums everything up. He can star in Marks, star alongside someone who's a well-known name, who's a bit shit, and has had a massive hit years ago. Is clearly doesn't need the money, and he's just doing this for whatever. This kind of sums up the majority of Cage films. So, but it's not good, and maybe because there is recency bias that I do remember it. But yeah, it's not a tour de force at all.
No, it's not. I'm going to make a note because there's another film that I want to make mention of, but just in case it's on your list, I'll save it till later. My next two films are both 2015, Stu. And he's done 2 films in 2015, so if you know, you know.
See, no, the winner. I like The Runner a lot better than you did.
The problem is I love a good political drama.
Yeah,
like that's the kind of film that I want to see Jessica Chastain in, like just chewing the scenery and busting balls. And it ended up just being a bit of a wet fart. And I think the fact that they used the BP oil spill and so they made it look like this could have been based on a true story, and then there was just nothing to it. It ended up being so undramatic. It felt like it was very much a Canadian made-for-TV movie. It sucked any life out of it, I think. And it was too jumpy. Like it started off in one place and then it took a left turn and went somewhere completely different. And then we're in a fucking fish shack, and it's like you're just all over the place. Try and get a consistent narrative going, which they just never did. So I really didn't enjoy The Runner.
Yeah, and the whole thing about her divorce and then getting back with him, and
all pointless.
Yeah, didn't make any difference.
Utterly pointless. Just side quest bullshit that was not needed to the main film. Yeah, wank. The other film in 15 is Pay the Ghost. I mean, we've spoke at length about horror. Like we've done episodes that have only been about horror. We are horror fans on this podcast. And this was a supernatural horror about a missing child where he's supposed to go to what's effectively the Upside Down inside some kind of disused factory. And like, it sounds like this could be okay. But again, it was just another performance of Nick Cage's where it felt like he was just doing it for the money. And we've come to know that, you know, the 2010s, there's more of that than there isn't. And I feel like Pay the Ghost was very much one that I had semi-decent hopes for, and it ended up just being shit. And I'm not a big Sarah Wayne Callies fan either. I find her quite annoying.
Yeah.
So, like, it didn't work for me on many levels. So, yeah, that's the other one.
No, I didn't particularly love it either. But it was just one that came and went. But again, left an impression because how many times has it been brought up over the years?
That's fair.
As a kind of example for these kind of things. And there is certain scenes, like I said about the few weeks about the bridge with the mist and stuff like that. That's sort of kind of, it's not iconic because no fuckers watch these films. So, it's burned into your mind, unlike some of the others. That's like I said. That's why some of these things are not on my list.
Yeah, it's entirely fair.
Because I mean, even though the next one, 2016. I mean, again, there's not a lot in 2016 that's good.
No, there's definitely more shit than hit.
But USS Indianapolis Man of Courage is a diabolical piece of art, if you can call it that. Terrible 1998 PlayStation graphics, CG, awful acting everywhere.
Yeah.
A great story that needs to be told properly that no one knows about, that's real.
Absolutely.
And yet the only thing we've got to show for it is this. It's another disgrace, really. Yeah, shit film. Not even Lifetime quality.
No. Like when I was like writing the list out and I was trying to figure out which of his terrible war films to put on here. And it was either USS Indianapolis, Wind Talkers, because I liked the idea, but I thought the execution of it was really poor, and Time to Kill, which eventually was the one that won out for me. But it was close with Indianapolis. At the end of the film, doesn't he kill himself?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand. Like, I know that it's because it's based on a true story, but it felt like they just kind of completely glossed over it. Like, they spoke about it, and then wasn't it just a line? Like, they put up lines at the end of it to say what happened to each person. It felt like it was treated with such disregard, like it wasn't particularly important that the guy that the film's been about the entire time is now, like, it ended up costing him his life.
Yeah, through
Like,
guilt because
awful film.
The plastic sharks. But when you've had Band of Brothers doing it way better years earlier than this, and yeah, obviously much bigger budget than this as well, but still, they still incorporated the real people into the show, which is one of the reasons why it's so incredible and why it's baffling that you still haven't watched it. But yeah, just very badly executed, annoyingly so.
Yeah. My next one's 2018. You got anything between 16 and 18?
16, 17. Yes. 2017. The Humanity Bureau.
I think this one didn't make my list because this is one that I sort of remember bits about, more so than some of the other crap.
Yeah. It was on, but I'm putting that down to recency bias as well, because it's like everything about it is just bad.
Yeah, it was.
Everyone in it is bad. Stories kind of clever, but badly executed. And it doesn't really. He hasn't got, like. Is it a dark comedy? Is it supposed to be dystopian? Is it just a thriller set in a bad world? Like you don't know, do you? It's like,
no, you're right.
It's all over the place.
Yeah, it's like, it feels like if the CW tried to make a show about the future, like it felt kind of cheap, and like you could just tell that they just pulled up to the side of the road and filmed. Like they made no real effort to establish any scenery or anything like that. It felt very sort of just, that'll do, just put it on film, fuck it. Like, very poorly executed. And I feel like the twist that they tried to put in at the end didn't particularly land. It didn't make any sense throughout the film for it to then be what it became. That could potentially probably should have made my list. It was a very bad film.
Yeah, and it was one of them that had the bad reaction where it just made me mad. It was some of the best part of 2 hours gone for this reason.
Yeah, I get you. Right, so the last film on my list then, Stu, is 2018, Between Worlds, which was the supernatural thriller where Cage played the trucker who was in possession of some kind of erotic mysticism over the younger woman who was embodied his ex-wife. It was a mess. It was such a mess of a film. It was silly. It was tonally confusing. Like, if they'd have leaned into the comedy of it, fine. If they'd have leaned into the spooky of it, fine. And they did neither and both and other things, and none of it made any sense. And it made it such a difficult thing to sit through, which again, it was only like 93 minutes, if I remember rightly, but it was such a struggle. And then you've got that really weird, bizarre sex scene going on, and this was Cage at his worst, I think. Especially, like, I know that we start to come out and we start to get back to the better stuff. We get Spider-Verse and Colour Out of Space later this year. This felt like this was his rock bottom in this particular run of shit.
Yeah, it's not a good film, but that whole scene where her daughter's been possessed by his dead wife's spirit, and then all the extra stuff as well when you go to find out what actually happened. That was the only redeeming part for me. That I thought, oh, okay, because I was at that point where, like, halfway, 3/4 of the way through, I thought this is just poor.
Yeah,
and it still was. Obviously, it's not. It's not redeemed.
It wasn't that redeeming? No.
But yeah, it's there was bits enough. There was just enough for me to keep it off the list. But it's still, I gave it a 4 as well.
It's right though, because I mean, like, there are films that are 100% worse films. Left Behind is a worse film. The Wicker Man is a worse film. But they're better experiences.
Yeah.
So I get why it may not have made your list. If you're looking at sort of like stuff that you hate compared to stuff that you just struggled with, which a lot of these films, that's what it was. It was a struggle to get through. These are films that I remember checking the clock several times and being confused. There was somehow still 50 minutes to go. Every time I looked, there was still 50 minutes. Yeah, it was just terrible. Like, we've spoken about it ad nauseum, but the 2010s, the fact that, like, the majority of my list comes from there. I've got 2 from one year. They weren't good times. So it's all up to you now, Stuart. That's all my film's done. So take us home with what you've got.
There weren't good times or at Richmond High either. 211.
Oh, that was like the proper made-for-TV movie. You could see where the ad breaks would have gone.
Yeah, exactly. It's a TV movie with it made no sense with the ride-along stuff. I
forgot about the ride-along, yeah. What was that even there for?
Action drama thriller, it's called on IMDb. I gave this a 3.
That feels generous, to be honest.
Yeah, again, Western Cage was in this one as well. Just wank. I mean, obviously, I love a police procedural, and yet again, there's more Bosch to look forward to now, so you need to get in. You get in soon.
I need to start Ballad. That's the one I want to watch.
Ballad is... Having watched it all now, like the overarching thing, like the story of the series, just really, really good. And yeah, there's a couple of like side quests in there.
Yeah,
not case of the week kind of things, but it all kind of works. And there's stuff in there that you think, oh god, boy, it's a bit tick boxy. But it doesn't really matter. You can easily see why it's the ratings that it's got on everything, like 100%.
Okay,
as a piece of TV, it's just perfect.
I like Maggie Q as well, so I'm kind of intrigued just to see her in it, to be fair.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is one that's on my radar.
I mean, having a Bosch prequel now as well. It's why not? They own it. They get the guy who wrote the books. He's involved, so
okay. I mean, if there's money on the table, you'd be silly not to, wouldn't you?
It's Prime money as well, so it's not even real.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. So 211, bad. My next one What year is it? I mean, I thought about Primal, but I thought, no, we had too much fun with Primal.
Yeah, that was it, because it was either going to be Outcast or Primal for me. That's the film I didn't want to mention in case it was on your list. It was one or the other, but it was the fact of the terrible CGI cougar or panther, whatever it was, I can't even remember now. That sort of elevates it above Outcast for me.
Yeah, there's two back-to-back years, 2020 and 2021. I think Jiu-Jitsu was... I mean, Jiu-Jitsu was the one at the time where it was the film that it was the first one that came out when we were doing this podcast, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Like, yeah, this is an event now. And then it was that.
Oh, God. We were fucking duped, weren't we?
And
it's so bad.
When I still watch trailers, that was as well. And I watched the whole thing thinking, oh, this looks amazing. And then it was very much not amazing at all.
Yeah, cause it didn't look bad at all, did it? To be perfectly honest, in the trailers, it sold something it wasn't. I think the fact that you can watch that film and not know what jiu-jitsu is at the end of it tells you how bad it was. Like, there was no jiu-jitsu in that entire movie, so I don't know why it was called that.
Yeah.
It was appalling. But Cage was far and away the best thing in it. Like, he was kind of interesting, but the rest of the film was a struggle.
Yeah, there's no real redeeming factors about it either. It's not like you can't watch it for funny reasons either, like some of these on here. So it was just disappointing. Like one of the most disappointing on there. But Prisoners of the Ghostland was. And the fact that it says watch on Prime Video, like that kind of sums it up, because that's what it should have been. It's not one person army action at all. It's, again, just dull. Just very dull.
Yeah, no, I didn't hate it as much as you, but I fully understand why you would. I kind of feel like my problem with it was that it didn't end up being the film that I wanted it to be, but there was a lot of potential. So I enjoyed it I think I enjoyed the potential more than I enjoyed what was delivered. But I remember you particularly disliking that because it's very disjointed.
Yeah, and I like a bit of that kind of stuff, like Twisted Metal and obviously Mad Max and even Furiosa, which I know was a bit divisive itself, but it's 10 times the film that was. It was just, yeah, I didn't like it at the start. At the time, every time I've thought about it, it's like, it's just something that it didn't ride with me really that well. Which is worse than a lot, again, things like, I mean, you look at the films that haven't made it onto the list. I mean, I've got mine in chronological as well, because I wrote them all down and then had to take them away. Obviously, we mentioned Time to Kill already. Zanderlei is shit.
But there's some moments in there that will stay with me forever.
Yeah.
Deadfall didn't make it. Deadfall or Arsenal. And both of those are not... Like, Deadfall is incoherent. The storyline was all over the place, and it goes full circle and makes no sense how it got there. And that didn't make the list, and that's got to be one of his worst.
Yeah, Arsenal will be in the worst and the normal bottom.
Yeah.
When you put the graphics of the decades out, that Arsenal's going to be low. But I think the fact that we watched it a month ago and I'd already forgot about it, and I'd gone down this list again, and because it's not even called that, that
doesn't help, does it?
No, it's just a farce.
Yeah, like Arsenal probably. Like, if you're looking at actual worst films, it is your Wicker Man, your Left Behind, Arsenal, Deadfall. Jiu-Jitsu, I think, is his lowest scorer. I know we did that the other week, 2.9. Like, you'll struggle to get lower than that. Although he nearly got it with Gunslingers on a 3.6. Like, but I had fun with those films.
Yeah.
Like, they're not good, but I kind of appreciate that, to be perfectly honest. I'd always said it. I would rather have a 1-star film than a 3-star film. Give me something that's either brilliant or terrible. But if it's in between, I'll forget it. And I'm not going to forget Cage's fucking ridiculous cross sunglasses and that accent that he was putting on. Like, that's not going to go away anytime soon. It's just not. Whereas him farting his way through fucking Pay the Ghost, that will go eventually. Thankfully. So I said I've got a list. I've got a few films that they weren't bad, but maybe overhyped. So Mandy, I think we spoke about ad nauseum, really, haven't we? That it was just one that I really wanted to love and didn't quite hit the mark. Snake Eyes, it was in a run of Cage's big bullshit performances. Your Con Air, Face Off, The Rock, Gone in 60 Seconds. Gone in 6 Seconds could potentially be in this little list as well. Because that was another film that I remember really liking, and then watching back, it didn't work. Peggy Sue. I really wanted to love Peggy Sue, and it was just okay. So there's a few that I feel like let down, but they weren't bad, and they wouldn't deserve to be on the bottom 10 list. Is there anything for you that just didn't quite hit the mark?
I mean, Gone in 60 Seconds was the one because I had the DVD of that. I loved that film. And it was not what I remembered it being. And I think that might have been the Fast and Furious factor about it all, that if you got something to compare it to.
Yeah.
But then you go with Drive Angry, which is actually all right. It's one to the other. Yeah, I think Peggy Sue, because Tara had hyped that up for us, that it just... I think if we just watched it with no context, I don't think it would have been as bad. Same with Mandy.
Potentially. But there was the... what film was it? There was a film that he did that he got off the back of Peggy Sue. And I can't remember what the film was. And it was a film that we really liked. So I remember them saying that we gave him this role because he was in Peggy Sue. And it's like, okay, so I'm excited for Peggy Sue now. And it just didn't really have the same impact on me as I'd wanted it to. I can't remember what that film was now. I'm sure it'll come back to us at some point. Maybe was it Kick-Ass? That's Big Daddy. Because I know like he did the accent in that as well.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
But possibly... well, I know it's going to be a controversial take, but when we do our films of the year, and I watched it this week. This is not about Cage at all. But I watched it this week finally, and Weapons is not going to be in my top 3. I don't know what if it was overhyped again. I enjoyed it. It was funny.
Yeah.
Maybe because it was on a horror list, so I thought it was going to be something it wasn't. And then when you see Wong running down the street with his eyes out,
yeah,
I thought, hang on a minute, this is not where I thought where this was going to go.
It's bordering on comedic in parts.
Well,
and I think because I went in with knowing that it was from the same director of Barbarian, I was like, okay, I sort of know his style. I think that helped me.
Yeah, because up until that point, there were times where like you're watching them do almost like the Naruto run.
Yeah,
stretch the Naruto run, and have you watched the Trainwreck Area 51 documentary?
No, I haven't.
On it's from the Trainwreck series on Netflix.
Okay, I didn't know that was a thing. I hadn't seen that one.
Yeah, they're good, the Trainwreck ones. But this one is a bit of gathering in the... Like, he put a thing on Facebook groups back in 2019 just as a joke. Storm Area 51.
I remember that, yeah.
And it got completely out of control. And then he took it over. He said, yeah, we need to run... using the Naruto run, so you got people with their arms behind their back, like running down. And he got over to 1 million, and they interviewed the people who lived in this town with 50 people in the middle of the desert. It's like, yeah, this is going to be bad. But it's 2 parts. Oh
wow, okay.
But yeah, Weapons was fun. I just thought after it, because like a mate from a Whole Lot of Wolves, Josh, was saying that it was in his list with, and he hadn't seen Bring Her Back yet. I went, well, Bring Her Back's probably one of my films of the year easily.
Yeah.
And it was being put together, so I thought, oh, it's going to be something equally as horrible, and it very much wasn't at all.
No, it's Bring Her Back is disturbing. Weapons is quite fun.
Yeah, Weapons is almost like Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah. I don't think it's as, like, especially in the first half, it isn't as overtly comedic, but the second half of it is.
You know what it is? It's Cabin in the Woods, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, that's 100% it.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It does. It very much changes its tone halfway through, which I think took a lot of people off, but it didn't for me. I still enjoyed it myself with it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's just not where maybe it's because I didn't know where I was getting into. And again, like we've had a lot of the Cage films that we just didn't know what we get into. Like Mandy wasn't what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And which is why we were a bit off about it. And again, I think I do need to watch it again in the next few weeks, but
yeah, I think that's fair.
Going blind is the best way.
Yeah, absolutely. How is your top 5 of 2025 looking? Have you got like a few 100%ers in there? Because mine keeps changing. Like I feel like I'm seeing so many good films over the last couple of months that are just potential number ones. It's incredible.
Let me check.
I think we've had a really good year, you know.
Because I download, because my Sheets account wouldn't open. It went crazy.
How annoying is that?
But I'll manage to download it. I just don't know where it is. But I watched the Hack on ITVX, and I thought I'm just going to give you your $5.99, sod you.
Yeah,
it's Big Brother's on. It's nearly I'm a Celeb time.
You'll get the use out of it then.
Yeah, I'll get the use out of it, which will be give them £12 for the year. Why not? October, November. So there's a few things on there. Like there's the usual stuff, and Trigger Point's back as well soon from the producers of Line of Duty, which was 2 seasons of that was good. But yeah, because Matt was saying, "Oh, the Hack it's amazing." And I thought, well, you got Toby Jones.
That's the one with Dave Tennant, isn't it?
Yeah, and Toby Jones.
I mean, that's a great fucking pair, isn't it? Let's be honest, yeah.
Always excellent, Toby Jones. And again, I went in thinking, oh, is this going to be this year's Mr. Bates versus the Post Office? Not the same vibe at all. Robert Carlyle as well. Not the same vibe.
Okay.
It's weird, like, because half of it's him talking, like, narrating to camera, and then going back into the story.
Okay.
It's a very weird way of doing things, but it's good. But for like TV wise, I thought there's always an ITV hit the last few years.
And every year there's something.
But there's none of them really, other than the obvious Netflix one.
Yeah. So I watched Film Club last week, and it's Amy Lou Wood. I think she's wrote it, and I don't think she's directed it, but it's basically, she plays a character who's agoraphobic, but she has this film club every Friday night for like a decade with her best friend, and it's a bit of a will they, won't they. It's incredibly sweet. It's really funny, but your man from Adolescence appears in it, and it's the only other thing I've seen. Is it Owen Cooper? Is that his name? Yeah. I think it's the only other thing I've ever seen him in, and like he's got a very small role in it, but he's really good. And like, it's worth it just to see the like 2 minutes in the 3 hours that he's in it, because he's brilliant in it. I think, he's going to fucking run Hollywood one day. He's got it. He just knows how to do it. It's really, really enjoyable, that was.
The fact that he managed to stand on stage next to the Queen of Our Hearts and not even like go red or do anything. I mean, at his age, standing next to her, well, at any age, standing next to her,
Yeah.
Before she got all buff and ruined it, but it is for a role. Back to normal soon. Hopefully. But like he was just so chill in that acceptance speech as well. But yeah, fair play to you.
I love it. Have you seen the video where Jake Gyllenhaal comes and meets him
In the hotel? Yeah.
And like he's more excited about that, and I'm like, that's kind of fucking sweet. That is. He seems like a really good kid, and hopefully he's got his head switched on. You'd think, like getting in with someone like Stephen Graham, he'll probably keep him level-headed. So yeah, I think the future's very bright for that lad.
The mixed race, Stephen Graham, which I didn't know that.
I only knew it because I remember an interview on Scroobius Pip's podcast years and years ago. That's the only reason I knew, because he was talking about it then, because obviously he played a racist character. I can't remember the character's name now in This Is England.
Yeah.
I remember him talking about the difficulties with him being a mixed race person himself.
The only other time I've ever had that happen to me was, what was his name now? It's completely gone blank. Ross Barkley.
Right, okay.
Because he got a strange kind of complexion, hasn't he? Like some, and like when he was a kid at Everton, he was very white, and then he went away in the summer and he came back and he looked mixed race. I thought, what's going on? And then it turns out like one of his granddads is mixed race or something like that.
Okay, right.
So he's obviously, so he's obviously got the gene there when he gets a bit of sun. But yeah, that baffling.
Yeah. Right, okay. I think we're done with that then, Stu. Gymkata is up next. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us for the final part of the podcast, 1985's Gymkata. So this is us talking about one of the most absurd films of the 80s. Stu, were you aware of this film, or have you got any history of it? I saw it a few years ago when I was watching the other podcast I listened to, How Did This Get Made? This was one of the films on there that I saw and was kind of blown away with how ridiculous it was, and that's how it's made it onto this list. Was this a new one for yourself?
No, and I when I wrote it down, when you said Gymkata, I wrote it down as Jim Carter as a name.
Right, okay.
So, yeah, I had absolutely no idea. Couldn't even find it on the exclusive service.
No. Oh, God, no.
The torrent I had of it didn't work. So I ended up renting this for $3.49 off Prime.
Unreal. Why didn't you let me know? I've got copies of this.
It was like 1:20, and I had like an hour and 40 minutes to go.
Fair enough.
Because I typed it in and it came up, but it was an episode of something spelt exactly the same.
Yes. I saw that when I initially looked for it, but I managed to find it at the Cove of the Seafarers, shall we say. Yeah, what an incredible film. So basically, the guy who is in it, he is an actual Olympic gymnast. He has never done any acting before. Shock horror, if you've seen the film. So in Gymkata, Olympic gymnast Jonathan Cabot, played by Kurt Thomas, is recruited by a shadowy US intelligence agency to compete in The Game, a deadly obstacle course held in an isolated mountain nation of Palmistan. The stakes: if Cabot survives, he earns the right to request anything. And the US wants to install a satellite monitoring station there. To prepare, Cabot trains in martial arts and gymnastics, combining both into a new fighting style, Gymkata. Once in Palmistan, he faces a gauntlet of assassins, deranged villagers, and surreal challenges, including a village of the Crazies and a pommel horse conveniently placed in a town square. Along the way, he falls for the princess Rubali and uncovers political intrigue. The film blends Cold War paranoia, action tropes, and athletic absurdity into a fever dream of 1980s genre cinema. That's a pretty good description of this film, I think. we will be rating this movie on the Kaboom quotient. So that's any of the over-the-top action or any big budget explosions, anything like that. The plot pretzel, which is how convoluted and twisted the plot is. Message in the madness. Is there actually any allegories or anything going on behind the main story? The ham and cheese charter, which is how hammy and cheesy the acting is. And then the overall what the fuck factor. Stu, Gymkata.
There was times in this film where I thought this is not even. It's not even funny. It's like it's just shit. And then within literally 3 minutes, it's all going crazy again.
Yeah,
this is almost impossible to even describe. I know why that podcast did it, because they use it again, like we just slagged off a Cage film for using the BP oil spill. They're using the Star Wars project, which is a real thing.
Yeah, effectively, yeah.
And then at the end, it says it. Like, yeah, this is why. This is why we've got satellites there, because of this fucking absurdity. It's
based on a true story, Gymkata.
Basically, a bloke in his own jumper as well for half the film, and white joggers, like high kicking the Foot Clan for an hour and a half.
Effectively, yeah.
And then he changes the red jumper for a blue one with some padding on the shoulders, and the white joggers never get dirty, and that's kind of the end of the story. It's ridiculous.
It's the most like American exceptionalism you will ever see in a film that isn't like Rocky IV. This, I know I'm jumping to the message in the madness here rather than starting with the plot pretzel, but this film is literally, we're so tough in America, even our gymnasts will beat you. Like, yeah. It's just fucking silly. And the fact that he runs around wearing red, white, and blue throughout the whole fucking film, it's like you couldn't be wearing your colours any more brightly on your shirt than what you were doing here. But the problem is that's the only message is America's great, because everything else is just like a kind of faint whiff of Cold War allegory going on to it, but not really to any great depth. They just sort of stumble over stuff as it goes along. It doesn't really. So the films that this kind of reminded me of is like The Long Walk or The Hunger Games, which clearly have like quite a deep message, either about like capitalism or friendship or family, that kind of thing. And this does none of that really. This just sort of like vaguely farts in their direction. The only message I think they had in this was America's great. And for that, this is a 2 out of 10.
I mean, that's more than I gave you. I mean, that went completely over my head that they were wearing red, white, and blue, even though he was. At one point, his red jumper had white and blue piping on the shoulders.
Yeah.
It looks like. I mean, what would be the 80s version of Temu? Like, Woolworths, maybe?
Naf. I was going to say Naf, but I don't know.
No, Naf
was that
90s.
More 90s, was it?
Yeah. And Nafco 54, which is the one I had. But which is Nafco or Naf the original one?
I don't know. I only really remember Naf, to be honest.
Naf, yeah, because Naf, one of them had the cartoon guy with the spliff on it, didn't he?
Yes, it did.
I think that was Naf.
I forgot about that completely, yeah.
Yeah, and people in primary school with the guy with the spliff.
Yeah, how weird's that?
Again, the 90s.
Yeah.
But this is not the 90s, though. This is... I mean, he's basically like a Woolworth's own version of Flash Gordon, this guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's got shit hair, which is perfectly manicured. It's just in a very bad way. And that's all you can kind of say about him, other than it's very obvious that he's doing his own stunts, which, to be fair, were very good. We'll get onto that in a bit. Yeah, plot-wise, shit. Nothing. Rubbish.
Like, The plot is ridiculous. Like, I've given it a 7 because it is absolutely ridiculous. The fact that the US government needs to install a satellite station in this fictional city, and the only way to do it is to play a medieval death game. Like, where does that come from? What sense does that make? It doesn't. Like, it is such a convoluted idea. The fact that the game doesn't actually have any rules, they just need to survive. Like, it's sometimes an obstacle course, sometimes it's a free for all, sometimes it's just run through this village and don't die. Like, there's no rules to it. So again, it's just absurd. What else have I got? Right, the princess love interest, that's weird. That was very bizarre. The fact that they had to put a line in the script to explain why she doesn't look anything like her father. Like, her father is very clearly a white European man, and she is... I can't remember what nation they said her mom was from. Was it Indonesia?
She looks Filipino, though. She like some kind.
She's from like somewhere. Like, she's got an Asian look to her. She's very clearly not that man's daughter, and they had to put just like this line in that was clearly done in ADR because the person wasn't looking at the camera, but they need to make sure that you're aware that we know they don't look alike. Silly nonsense. The fact that every time something happens, as you say, like, it's kind of boring, and then it cuts, and then we'll get a fight scene, and the fight scene is in a town square, which is, as I've already mentioned, there's a pommel horse in a town square so that he can do a fight scene. There's parallel bars in one point. Like, there just so happens to be all this gymnastics equipment in this village of the damned. It's just stupid as fuck.
And the one where he's on that, when he gets to that pole and he spins around like 4 times, and he accidentally picks one of the good ones and oh, sorry, you okay?
It was stupid as shit. There's the bit where once they're in Parmistan and they're being attacked. Oh no, sorry, they're on the way to Parmistan and they're being attacked in this village. This one guy says to American, and he goes, yes, I am. And then you get punches him in the stomach, and then an arrow comes out of nowhere and shoots his mate.
Yeah,
what's going on? Like, you don't know what's happening here. And then we find out that the one guy has betrayed them, and he's actually siding with what was the guy's name? The Zamir. But the problem is, this happens like 25 minutes into the film. At this point, I don't even know the name of the man who has betrayed them. So it has no impact whatsoever.
And it's a bit like the like in the Dungeon Master in Nightmare. Like, how is he getting further ahead than the guy that we're following?
No, it just makes zero sense throughout this entire film. Like, I did enjoy it because of how utterly stupid it was.
I mean, for me, I didn't enjoy it for that reason, because it was too stupid. Like,
okay.
It didn't even make sense to be stupid. It just didn't make sense.
It didn't, did it?
Like, we've already had 2 absolutely absurd films, but they're absurd in a kind of strange way.
Mm-hmm.
That this just didn't make any sense.
No,
and I don't think it was deliberately made like that either, because everyone was kind of trying. But it looks like.
Like, there's a bit right at the beginning where he gets told that we need you to go and install a satellite somewhere. Where they said, "Oh, and your dad, he went there once, remember?" And then like winks at the fucking camera, and then his dad comes. Like, we don't hear any. Like, there's no more mentions of his dad until 5 minutes from the end, where his dad saves him, and then his dad gets hit by an arrow as well. Like, everyone gets shot with an arrow in this movie.
The same arrow.
It's always just this really random red arrow that just appears. It's ridiculous movie. Absolutely ridiculous. What score did you give it for the plot pretzel, Stu?
I mean, if we're going absurd, I don't. This is like I said, I don't think it was made to be absurd or as absurd.
No, I don't think it was.
No, so
it was made earnestly, just badly.
Yeah, so whereas Toxic Avenger was obviously stupid from the very off, and the other one,
your.
I was trying to think of its full name there.
You're the Hunter from the Future.
Hunter from the Future, yeah. Whereas
The
that had
worst
laser
fucking
guns and
title.
cavemen and stegosauruses and stuff. That was obviously insane. This is just a bit shit. So plot wise, I think for me, 4.
4. Okay. What was your message in the madness, Stu? I gave it a 2.
Yeah. Well,
2.
I gave it a 1 because I said there was
Okay.
none because I didn't see.
That's fair. I mean, to be fair, like the message, that might be something that I like just made up because it's really not front and center in the film. It just feels like it's a vague allusion to it.
Yeah.
The kaboom quotient. Let's do that one next then. So, in regards to actual explosions and pyrotechnics and stuff, there's just none.
No.
Everything that comes, all of the action sequence is literally just this guy doing gymnastics. I don't know, I'm struggling with that word. Doing gymnastics around people and then they just fall over. That's where all of the action comes in this, which I did quite enjoy for that. I can't give it a high score because there was no explosions.
No.
Like, it does well within the action side of things, but like compare it to Toxic Avenger, which was 500,000 budget. This had 8.5 million. This was a year later, and it's all done on like in just this fucking random little village somewhere. So there's no reason for it to have been so expensive. Where's that money gone?
Yeah, that's a tax issue.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because there's no one in here who I recognised. Probably for the best. Yeah, I mean, there was a few stunts and stuff which were pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And the gym work was really. I mean, you see now. I don't think a lot of this was actual rope work. I think he was actually doing it.
Yeah.
Which again, fair play. I like. I think the bit of when he's when the Foot Clan are all either side of the ravine, and then you got B-Tech Chuck Norris on the other side, and then again the arrow comes out.
Yeah, of course,
the red arrow, and then that's at the very start. Is that him or his dad? When I watched it this afternoon, I can't even remember. But then there's the one on the same ravine where the guy just falls and splats on the rock. And I actually kind of gasped because it's not like, normally when you drop dummies, they look like dummies. That looked like they killed someone. For real. It was just I think it was probably the best sound effect of the entire film as well, because the
sound effects were appalling, weren't they? They were so bad.
You might as well have had Bam, Whiz, and the Batman 66 stuff over the top, because that's the kind of sound effects you're talking about here. And even like the walking, it's like the walking in like Resident Evil.
Yeah, there's a bit. It's quite early in the film. It's before they get to Parmesan, where he's running around the city, and all you can hear is. It goes on for like 4 or 5 minutes, where you've just got foot on cobble throughout the whole film. Like,
yeah,
this is going on too long, but I don't want you to stop because I can't stop laughing at it.
Yeah,
and everything sounded like that. If it was a punch, if it was a walk, if it was a flip, like there's a bit where he's talking to the princess and she's ignoring him, so he does a backflip and it makes this noise. Like, what are you doing? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. So for this to be that much more than Toxic Avenger, it's outrageous.
Yeah, it's atrocious, isn't it?
Yeah, so you can't give it a good score for Boomness because there isn't any. The sound's terrible, but the stunts were impressive. So
yeah,
what is that? Was that like a 4 or a 5, something like that?
Yeah, I've gone with a 5 because like I think the stunts are really good, but there's not enough to just push it into the top half scoring.
Yeah, because it's not quite Power Rangers, but it ain't far off.
Yeah, I think if there was a couple of fireworks in this, it would probably got a 6. But because it isn't, it's a 5. Like, it's as good as it can be without the extra big nonsense that it could be.
Yeah, that's fair.
What have you got? 5, 4?
Yeah, 5.
5 as well. Sound. Okay. The ham and cheese charter. Like this, we spoke about how bad the acting was in The Toxic Avenger. This is the strongest category in this film because everyone hams it up. Like I don't think anybody has done any acting before in this movie. I know the main guy definitely hasn't. I would assume the rest haven't. Zamir, the main bad guy, he is just like, you know, in opera, for example, you're supposed to be really over the top and project to the back of the theatre to make sure everyone can see. He was doing that, but in a field in fucking Kazakhstan or somewhere. It was ridiculous. He was such a bad actor that he wouldn't have been out of place in any of the other films that we've watched so far. He was so over the top, so utterly ridiculous. And then you had Kurt Thomas, who was playing Cabot, who, like, I feel like he walked around with a rod on his back because he just didn't move.
Yeah.
Like he couldn't move. Like, you know, in Batman, in the early Batman films where he had the cowl was attached to the shoulders. So he moved his whole body when he wanted to turn around. That's how Cabot was moving around because he clearly just never been on a set before. I think he was reading everything off cue cards. He had zero charisma. So he just hammed it up as much as he could.
Oh, to make cue cards, you know, there's a thing with Sean Bean, the bastard, the other day, and talking about Lord of the Rings because it's been a while, and he said that the Rivendell speech he read off the floor. So
I can't blame him.
The reason why he's looking down and like the wonders not simply speech, said he had it on cards because they kept rewriting it over and over again. And he said, I just didn't have time to learn it because they changed it again. So they gave it. So I'm looking down, looking earnestly, remembering it, saying it, and then they're cutting away, and then I'm looking at the cards again.
That's what this film felt like.
Yeah. But whereas, obviously, Peter Jackson did a very good job with Lord of the Rings, and you could not tell. This, I mean, it would have been better if they had done this. Because, again, it's not done for a joke. It's done just shitly. Like he even holds the gun in the camp way. Every time he's pointing the gun at him, he's like, "Yeah, I mean, you might as well be wearing a tutu at this point." It's outrageous.
That's what he was doing. Yeah, I've given it a 8. I think this is the best one for the absurdity factor because it is. Like, they're just terrible actors.
Yeah, I'll go an 8 as well. I mean, I gave Toxic Avenger 10 last week.
Yeah,
so this is 8 because it's unintentional.
Yeah, agreed. So the final one then, the what the fuck factor. I've given it a 7 because there are lots of moments that I just watched and was like, this is ridiculous. Like, there were a few times where I was like, I did genuinely say, what the fuck is going on here? The pommel horse, like I said, all the scenes that are in any town or village centre where there just so happens to be gymnastics equipment, it's just bonkers. It's such a stupid film. And the fact that they'll do like 5 minutes of plot and acting and they think, oh shit, we need to put some action in. So then they'll just bring in a load of random people from the nearest town to do a fight sequence. It never settles. It's always stupid. Like, it's not good, but it is what the fuck.
Yeah, and like even the bits like when they get, when the princess are going down the river on the dinghy, they're your people, and she was and then they come and attack him. And I thought he's got that kind of sigh thingy, and like when they're doing all the kind of things that the turtle stuff, he's pretty. That's quite clever. That's quite good. But like he starts swinging them around, and I thought, he's just going to burst the boat, and he doesn't do that. I thought that's the logical thing to do there.
You'd think, yeah,
but no.
I've just remembered one thing that we haven't spoke about for some bizarre reason. So towards the end of the film, where like he's finally approaching the end of the game, and you see that man who's staring at him, but it's clearly a mask. And then he turns around and like he's just wearing a mask on the back of his head, and it's like a normal human on the other side. Why are you wearing that mask and not looking at the person? You're looking away from. You're not. What are you doing? And then there's the next scene where the guy is like beckoning him into this door. And then he turns around and he's got his arse out, like the back of his clothing is cut out. You can just see his bum. So he runs off because he doesn't want to go in there. Such a stupid film. Such an incredibly stupid film.
But did you read the trivia about this film though? About why this could possibly be the case?
No.
Because the extras were actually hired from an insane asylum.
Oh well, that makes all the sense in the world. That makes all the sense in the world.
Because that's why they all look so yampy and broken. Because they actually really are.
Yeah, I am not surprised at all. Actually,
they've gone to this Yugoslavian hellhole and let people out of an asylum for the day to film this film.
No fucking wonder. Jesus. Incredible. What score have you given it for the what the fuck, Stu?
I mean, that added another number to my 7, so yeah, 7. Just stupid beyond belief.
Wow, that is a great fact, isn't it? Right, okay, so that gives us a total of 54%. So this comes in just under your, which I think was 55, and Toxic Avenger is going to take some beating, to be perfectly honest. I think with an 88. Oh, 57, sorry, was what your got. So yeah, this one takes up the bottom position currently, which I think is fair. I think the others were more fun and crazier films than this. I think that is about right. Yeah. So next week, Stu, Ed is going to be coming on and he's going to be interviewing us about our time watching Cage. And then in the second part of the podcast, where we continue with Absurd Autumn, we will be watching Big Trouble in Little China.
Yes.
Absolute classic of the B-movie genre. I haven't seen this film in a good few years. I remember really liking it, so I'm hoping it's not going to let me down. I don't think it will. I think it should still be a pretty fun movie to watch. I always wonder if they're actually ever going to do the remake, because there was, like, Dwayne Johnson was supposed to be starring in the remake, and that's been touted for years and years. So I don't know if that's ever going to come to fruition, but I would quite like to see it.
Yeah. At the same time, could they do it then?
It would need a lot of
a
lot of editing, I think, to get it past the censors.
I mean, that is my thinking behind watching it again, because it's been a long time. And I kind of remember it not being very PC even back then.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Kurt Russell, Kim Cattrall, John Carpenter film, which, like, I haven't really watched a lot of John Carpenter for quite a few years, so I'm looking forward to getting back and seeing what there could be in here. So yeah, I'm excited for this one, Stu. A rough and tumble trucker and his sidekick face off with an ancient sorcerer in a supernatural battle beneath Chinatown. I mean, that just sounds perfect for Absurd Autumn, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one.
You know about John Carpenter? Did you ever watch the Thing prequel?
No, I didn't. Any good?
No, neither have I.
Oh, okay, right.
I presumed it was a remake, but it's not. It's a prequel called The Thing.
Okay. Was it a film or a TV series?
Yeah,
like, I never really paid much. Okay.
It's hang on. It's just because the game, which was excellent back in the day, that's been remastered, and I saw it. It was one of the ones on offer the other day, and I thought, oh, I ain't seen The Thing for a long time. Yeah, The Thing. What year was that? Thinking of Kurt Russell. Oh yeah, 2011. Starring Joel Egerton, Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Okay. I like both of those, to be fair.
Yeah. So I think
The Thing's another film I want to watch again, because it's got to be over 20 years since I've seen that.
I watched it about. I watched it about 6-7 years ago when they watched it on Knockback.
That's weird. So, how are they going to do a prequel and just call it The Thing?
Yeah, they released it in 2011. So a group of scientists researching an alien spaceship found in the Antarctic came face to face with the ship's not quite dead occupant. So it's obviously, the crew that they find in the film. It's them. Weird.
From the producers of Dawn of the Dead. So obviously they've got a bit of a thing about remaking and rebooting stuff then, by the sounds of it. Well, that's an interesting one.
Is that the one with Josh Hartnett?
Dawn of the Dead?
What was that one?
That was the Zack Snyder, James Gunn written remake with Mekhi Phifer. Was it 2005 maybe? It was very good. Ving Rhames was in it. Sarah Polley was like the main person. Who else is in it? You'll know. Ty Burrell, who was in Modern Family. He was in it. It's the first. This is the film where we got the running zombies from.
Oh yeah, yes, I've seen this. Of course, I have. Yeah, we went to see it. What am I thinking of then? Josh Hartnett.
30 Days of Night.
Yes, 30 Days of Night. Yeah, where he's at the spoilers.
Decent film that is.
Yeah, not going to say the end of the film.
Yeah, and to be fair, I quite like the book as well. It's a good comic book series, the 30 Days of Night ones.
Yeah, because I thought, this is set up for sequels galore. Never happened.
I think there are a couple of sequels that never went to the cinema. I think they were straight to streaming, but I think there's at least 2, if I remember correctly. And there might even be an animated one as well, but I quite enjoyed it. Like, I don't understand how it didn't become the biggest thing in the world.
Yeah.
But yeah, I quite like the original the remake of Dawn of the Dead. I think it's one of the better remakes. I think a James Gunn script is always going to be pretty solid, to be honest. I remember I think it was Mike Bassett I went to see, and it was like a Friday night. Me and my cousin went to the cinema to see Mike Bassett, I'm sure it was, and it was completely sold out. So it was like, well, fuck it, we're here. Let's just go and see something else. We went to see Dawn of the Dead and ended up really enjoying it. So actually, I'm kind of glad we saw this instead. In retrospect, I think it's probably Zack Snyder's best work.
You know what? I think when was Mike Bassett out? 2001.
Sure was it? Maybe it wasn't that I went to see.
2001, Mike Bassett.
Oh, okay, it must have been something else because Dawn of the Dead is 2004. But yeah, there was something I was going to say, and for whatever reason, didn't get into it.
It just reminded me of something else that did. He said about, because we had the same thing with Mike Bassett, and we went and it was sold out. So we went to watch something else. I can't remember what the other thing was, but I'd confuse it with another time when we went to watch Bean in '97.
Okay.
Was that the one with? Was that the Great Disaster movie one, or was it just Bean the movie, the painting one?
Right. Okay.
With Whistler's mother, and it was sold out.
Bean was 97. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I ended up watching The Game instead. A very different film.
Incredibly different.
Another one, Lost to Time. No one talks about ever.
I watched it on Netflix probably a year or 2 ago. Still solid as well. Still a decent film.
Yeah, I remember it being one of the first grown-up films I actually chose to watch.
I mean, it's David Fincher, he's very, very good at this type of gritty, dark, thrillery kind of grown-up shit. I really like Fincher. I think he's an excellent director. And yeah, watching this film, even in the 2020s, it still holds up. still a good movie. It's a bit like revisiting Seven. Seven's a solid film.
Yeah. I mean, bearing in mind, I would have been what? I would have been
97. Yeah,
13.
13, 14.
Yeah, I would have been 13 watching The Game, which was a 15. Again, 90s. Who cared? Yeah, and appreciating it. Advanced.
That's it. I remember going to the cinema and I was like, we were still at school, so I'd have been like 15, 16, and watching Jackie Brown, which I'm sure was an 18 at the time. And I probably didn't appreciate it. And it's one film that I've always wanted to revisit, and for whatever reason, just keep forgetting whenever I'm looking for a new film to watch. Yeah. Maybe when we do our Tarantino season in the future, we'll
That's why I'm waiting for
and rewatch them. Yeah, because I kind of just want to redo all of them, and then the 10th one when that's out.
Yeah, because we did the same thing. We went to watch it, and because obviously we all had Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs on video.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh yeah, we can get into Jackie Brown, and then it was not the same. And yeah, I think that was what the problem was. Watching it as teenagers, thinking, oh yeah, this is going to be violent and crazy, and it was just a modern blaxploitation film.
Mm-hmm. It's something that I would 100% be behind now.
Yeah.
But like 14, 15, 16-year-old me definitely wouldn't have been.
Yeah. When we got into American Werewolf in Paris, though, that was funny.
Did you really? That's great. Just trying to think, I remember going to see Mortal Kombat, I think was a 15 when I was about 12. I remember going to see that. I used to go all the time. Like you say, no one gave a shit back then. The only time I ever got ID'd was for Forrest Gump, which was on my 12th birthday. Because I went with my mate who, we shared a birthday. My mate was like a foot shorter than me. So they didn't believe that he was 12. So that's the only time I got ID'd. But obviously, I'm 12. I'm not going to fucking ID at that age.
Yeah, that was the same year, 97. So we would have been watching that as 13 and well.
Yeah, Jackie Brown, 97. Jeez. Yeah, it's incredible.
But Dean had the same receding hairline he's got now back then. So.
I think I still had a beard, to be fair, so that'll probably be it.
Another, him and Goldie went to watch something once, and there was a woman who started hitting on him, thinking that he was Goldie's dad. I want that. I don't know what film that was for, though. I wasn't there that day. But he just came back on the Mondays. Guess what happened?
That's incredible.
So fuckers.
The only time I remember anything like that, I remember it was away with the school. I was doing a wine tasting thing in Germany with the school, and the people who were pouring out the wine for us to drink, they was giving all of the students 5 mil to taste it. They thought I was a teacher, so I was getting full measures. I didn't say anything. It was brilliant. It was the joy of looking older. But now I'm obviously baby-faced and look like I'm still in my mid to late 20s, so it's all good.
20th century, yeah.
That's it. Right, okay. That's us done this week. Make sure you got us on whatever podcast that you listen to us on. If you could leave us a 5-star review, we would love you forever. If you want to get in contact with us, it's cagefightingpod@gmail.com, and follow us on the socials @cagefightingpod on all of the places. For this week, Stu, would you like to say goodbye?
Yakmala. Goodbye.
It's goodbye from me too. And remember, be excellent to each other.